welcome to the Weed Out, where we weed out the nonsense and talk about the bullshit in our backyard. I'm Spencer Fox Peterson, flying solo today on August 13th, Sunday. Just came back from viewing the rally, call to action, protest of the Northampton Police, organized by the Communist Party of Massachusetts, the PSL of Western Mass, or the Pioneer Valley, and the Workers' Party of Western Mass. They hosted this event to call out the Chief of Police of Northampton, Chief Casper, and for the resignation of her from her position, and also the immediate dismissal of the two officers, Bartlett and Selou, who brutalized a worker from Holyoke, 60-year-old woman, Marisol. We talked about this in a previous episode. This was a clear case of police brutality. The video is there. The chief of police said he followed policy. And as anybody that listens to the Weed Out knows, that's exactly why we believe in abolishing the police. This is their policy. They're an apartheid enforcing, working class oppressor. They work for the capitalists. They have no duty to protect and serve, according to even the Supreme Court, who the police have taken the case to them that they have no duty to intervene. Their only duty is to protect property. This isn't hyperbole. This is their role. Historically, they started off as slave catchers, catching quote-unquote property, the enslaved. So let's keep that in mind always. Now, this action was great. There was probably about 100 to 125 people downtown Northampton in front of the City Hall. It was peaceful. It was calm. There was 7 or 8 speakers, some representing just the community, some representing those who oppose the police state, and just people that want a safer community. So I was able to get some statements from some of the speakers and some of the organizers that I will share throughout this clip, this short episode. Joanna is off today. She is getting well-deserved R&R. I decided to go out and, see it firsthand so I could report it back to y'all. And this was really heartening. And, personal note, it does feel isolating when you're talking about police brutality. A lot of people in my community, what I would consider my community the last couple of years, have distanced themselves from me personally because of my stance on police brutality and police. So after the speakers spoke at the rally, I made sure to get some statements from those that were willing to talk to me, talk to the Weed Out, and to our audience. We had a few organizers from the Workers' Party, Communist Party, and a speaker from Northampton who's been organizing around tenants' rights issues. So first up on our little interview statement is Aiden. He is a member of the Workers' Party Western Mass. He's a wonderful person who cares about police brutality. So we're happy to hear what he has to say. So take it away, Aiden.
Defund the police rally for Marisol with one of the leaders of the local Western Mass Workers' Party chapters, Aiden. And Aiden, tell us about what happened today.
So today, us and our allies in the Western Mass Communist Party, as well as the River Valley chapter of PSL, all united to oppose police brutality. There was a disgusting incident of force that never should have happened here in Northampton, here in the progressive police city of Northampton. We all know that's a fucking joke, though. Mm-hmm. The shoestring broke this article, and I don't know, we shared it within our chats and stuff. It caused us immense anger. We mobilized immediately and were able to kind of pull this together within a few days, really. Was woefully unprepared for it, but I think that we kind of learned a lot great lessons, did a good job with this. I think all the speakers absolutely killed it today. There will be more of this. We're prepared for the next time, and yeah.
And if you could give our listeners a quick PSA on how to get in contact with the Workers' Party.
You can email us at workerspartywesternmass@gmail. You can follow us on Instagram at Workers Party Western Mass. We also have a Facebook page. You can come to any of our meetings that typically occur at 6 p.m. on the third Monday of every month at the South Hadley Public Library. They're open to anybody. Come through, meet us, talk with us, get involved. It's the only way we'll make a difference.
Do you also do those via Zoom?
We do typically offer them via Zoom. We are kind of running out of capacity for the room that allows us to do that. We might be in the bigger room next time, which makes it a little bit harder, but we are trying to keep that logistical support going because I know we cover all of Western Mass, so it's a wide area. Not everybody can get to South Hadley in a timely manner for 6 p.m. So currently we do offer it via Zoom. We don't post the link publicly as we've gotten trolled before, but yeah, if you reach out to any of us and want to join us via Zoom, I can send you the link.
Great. Thank you so much, Aiden, for your time.
Thank you so much for coming out.
And thank you very much for being part of organizing this action.
Of course. Same for doing this podcast stuff. You're putting great information out there to the world.
Hey, we all got to do our part, right?
Obviously, yes. Of course.
All right. Next up after Aiden is J.R. Rivera, a former guest of ours, actually. Please go check out an early episode with J.R. He was so kind to come on and kind of help us break our teeth into interviewing. Joanne and I are not, our first jobs are not podcasters. So thank you, JR, for coming on originally and helping us learn how to have guests on. And we appreciate you, and we appreciate everything you had to say at the rally. And so we're just going to play what you had to say to us and to our audience.
And JR has a unique perspective as they shared a neighborhood in Holyoke. So here we are with JR. Welcome back to the show, man.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here on the show.
Thank you. So tell us why you're here and what happened today.
Yeah, absolutely. We're here convening with various organizations coming together to not only show solidarity and support, but also letting people know what can be done about the police departments of both Holyoke, Springfield, Northampton regarding the brutalization of our streets. We're here getting people involved and signed up with not only our organizations, but the party, so that we can run legislators at the state level and at the city council level to redirect money from these police departments into public safety committees, in which can be used for actual community care and actual things that work, such as housing, infrastructure, and other public safety methods.
Excellent. Yeah, that's exactly what we're all about. We appreciate y'all organizing this action. We know it's not easy to get out there and put your face out there, so we appreciate all the work for all the people that were here, all the speakers. And is there anything else you'd like to shout out while you're on the show?
Yeah, absolutely. A big shout out to Shoestring, number one. They got the first scoop, which is tremendous. It's really hard for left-leaning, worker-centered, independent news to get the first scoops on these things. So it's a big moment, and not only that, but they connected with us and they said, look, this is going to blow up Monday. Would you guys be interested in doing something? And that really just shows the solidarity and the connections that we've made within the last couple years that have solidified and transformed into things like these happening. Last year we did a Tyree Nichols sigil, and that was great. It was cold, but we came together nonetheless, and it was a phenomenal time. And a big shout out to other independent news, such as the Weedout, that covers these things from an actual worker-centered perspective, from a centered perspective that fights for public safety and not this hogwash that liberals like to sell us.
Thank you very much for all the work you do. Thank you for our shout out. Any shout out for the Workers' Party?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to the Workers' Party, of course, CPUSA. Join the Workers' Party at workerspartyma@gmail.com if you're interested in becoming either a sympathizer or joining us and doing some radical work. We all have different politics, but we all come together at the end of the day to support things like this. Whether you're CPUSA, whether you're PSL, doesn't really matter. And we hope to meet you on the same side of the fence.
Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Spencer.
And next up is speaker Jada, a.k.a. Joelle, but Jada's her nickname. So that's maybe if you run into her in the street, Joelle. Thank you so much, Joelle. If you're hearing this, for speaking with us. We thought what you had to say was very powerful, coming from Texas and understanding that Northampton is not progressive. It's only progressive for some. And you said that so eloquently, and I'm so happy to share. somebody I've never met before's opinion and point of view with our audience. So thank you, Jada, and everybody. This is what Jada had to say.
Speakers, Joelle.
They call me Jada.
They call her Jada. It's a term of endearment, so if you know her, she'll let you call her that. But we're here to get her statement. So tell us what you thought.
Okay, first of all, you can call me by my other initials, ABW, which means Angry Black Woman, and I'll tell you why. And I wasn't on the speakers thing. I came here, I found out about this yesterday. So I came up here, and it was just like, I grew up in Texas, it was just like a church when you feel the need to testify. So I said, let me say some words. And so I went there and I said, I read the article about what happened to that woman. I couldn't even watch the TV thing and the film of it. It's too disturbing. It's traumatizing. I grew up in Texas where this is kind of the norm. And what hit me was Sandra Bland, black woman in Prairie View, Texas, moved over so the cop could pass her. He pulled her over because she didn't properly signal. And the next day she's dead. Why is this happening? You're progressive, Northampton, at least in theory. It's a tale of two cities, exactly. And the thing is, if she had done something wrong, okay, fine, don't go with a headlight. I'm not mechanically inclined. Right now, somebody just told me a hubcap fell off. Hell, I don't know that. I'm not MacGyver. So how the hell am I supposed to know something like that? If she did something wrong, get a license plate and give her a goddamn fine. Why the fuck you have to go up there? Excuse me, take that off. It's a Sunday, I'm gonna get in trouble. But why the F you gotta go there, manhandling her, cussing her out? Are you kidding? Putting her to the ground, treating her like that. Boy, that makes you real macho man, huh? And if you knew, and young here, dang, you don't know no better? Northampton, y'all don't know any better? I mean, I went to the city council meeting where I supported them on increase, because you need more officers, they say, because the officers they have working overtime, you're prone to make mistakes, So I support that, because in public housing, they have been helpful in some ways. They've done cops and coffee. So I used to work also head resident of Mount Holyoke, and cops were around. I don't mind cops, just don't motherfucking beat us. That's what I mind.
It's the bare minimum.
Come on.
Bare minimum.
Be around there, protect my safety. I appreciate that. I don't want to be scared of you. I mean, it's not like this woman said, hey, cops, how's the wife and kids? She didn't know you. She didn't know what you were talking about. There's a language barrier. Be respectful. Putting on the ground, now you feel real macho. And if that's not bad, and then the chief is saying, well, he did reasonable. What kind of fucking unreasonable crapola is that? Right. I don't understand it. You know what I mean? What Judge Judy say? Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. That's what that feels like.
Right.
And I'm just hurt. Northampton, you're not progressive. And as I said, please put a sign on every entrance. Northampton, progressive, comma, for some, exclamation mark. That's what Northampton is. You have to be ashamed of yourself. Shame.
Luke here is one of the organizers and one of the speakers for the action against police brutality in Northampton, where they brutalized a working class person from Holyoke. It's completely unacceptable, as you all know, whoever's listening to the show, but we wanted to just go around and get some statements from the people that organized and the people that spoke or had thoughts or were willing to talk to us. So, Luke, tell us what happened today and why you're here.
So a very large number of people mobilized in downtown Northampton. People came kind of from all over, and we mobilized basically in defense of this woman's life to basically advocate for immediately the termination of Officers Salou and Bartlett, who were actually directly involved in the incident, as well as the resignation of Police Chief Jody Casper, who has condoned their behavior and said that it was reasonable. And an appropriate use of force. And we've gathered here really understanding that those are elementary demands. That's only really like the bare minimum in a very, very long fight for justice. It's something that we have to approach structurally. It's something that we have to address as a component of many interlinking issues. And so we're here to basically tie these struggles together as well, to basically articulate the pattern that is at play here. It's not just Marisol, it's not just the whole, like we know so many names, but there are so many more that we don't, and it's not just that, it's all of these struggles, and we have to tie them together in the form of a revolutionary party, which can address these issues, which can build working class power, which can challenge the very root of these problems.
Thank you. And do you have any shout outs for our listeners? Any place you feel like is personal to you that you'd like to share, or just something that you think would be effective that maybe they could do?
Straight up, just join the Workers' Party, join the Communist Party. That's the best I can say. We can plug you into any sort of struggle however you want. We're here for you. We're here for our communities. We're fighting for a new world.
And that's all we can do, and I appreciate your time. Luke, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much to everybody that stopped to take the time to talk with us at the weedout, and thank you for showing your face and your time. We appreciate everybody. This is not easy. This is an uphill battle. It is disheartening. It is very hard to keep positive, but today was a positive step. People organizing and coming together as a community with a single goal of making our communities safer. And it's not just abolishing the police. It's redirecting those funds to housing, to food, to shelter, to healthcare, to better infrastructure. So we have clean water and safer streets. Police don't solve any of this, people. We know this. We beat this to death, not Bush. We beat this concept to death, and it's important. The police are not here to protect us. That's it. It's really hard to swallow because we have been inundated with propaganda our whole lives. This goes many generations before us. We live in a new era where kinetic warfare is not the only warfare, informational warfare. Doing this job as a podcaster, just to share a personal note, has really affected me and my people I considered family and friends. And if they listen to this show, I hope you see why it's so important that we speak up and speak out. And I'm sure everybody listening has experienced something I've experienced. I've been told that my agitation is going to get me hurt. And to that I say, yeah, that's the point. Like, not the point. The point isn't to get hurt, but that's the point. They will do anything to maintain their power. The oligarchy, the landowners, the police that are the lapdogs for the landowners and the property owners. Okay? So if normies can recognize that there's a risk speaking out against the police state in organized state violence, that's the whole point. So it's discouraging to lose community, but it's also, days like today made me feel that I'm not alone. And that's just my personal note. It makes me realize I'm not the only one with these thoughts, and seeing the bigger connections here and the things that we can do to make the world a better place. And we have to take care of business in our own backyard. We got to weed out the bullshit, right? So I just want to thank everybody for the organizing. Let's keep it up. Look forward to having some great guests on this fall. We have more workers unionizing in Hadley and Northampton and the Valley and the Berkshires. We look forward to sharing those stories. And on behalf of Joanna and the weedout, the street crew of the weedout, Bridget and Caleb, we thank you all for following along, getting mad, doing something about it. Always feel free to visit us at www.theweedout.com. Go to our link tree. You can contact us if you have something you need to be highlighted, or you have something to share with us. It's greatly appreciated. And again, keep weeding out the bullshit. Like, share, follow. Everything we do here, we do it for the working class. Thank you, everybody, and have a good rest of your day.